Number 16. Giant sloth pendants. What if humans were creating sophisticated jewelry 27,000 years ago, thousands of years before they were supposedly capable of such artistry? Deep in the caves of Santa Helena, Brazil, archaeologists discovered something that defied every established timeline of human civilization. Carved from the bony plates of giant ground sloths, these ornamental pendants were meticulously polished and shaped by human hands approximately 27,000 years ago. This discovery suggests that early humans in South America possessed a sophisticated symbolic toolkit thousands of years earlier than previously thought possible. The craftsmanship required to transform these sloth osteoderms into decorative pendants indicates a level of artistic and cultural development that challenges our understanding of prehistoric societies. The giant ground sloths these plates came from were massive creatures, and the fact that humans were not only hunting them but turning their remains into symbolic jewelry reveals a complex relationship between early peoples and megafauna. But these ancient ornaments pale in comparison to the footprints that were discovered alongside evidence of coexistence with creatures that should have been extinct. Number 15. The impossible footprints at White Sands. How can human footprints exist alongside tracks of animals that supposedly went extinct before humans arrived in the Americas? In the ancient lakebeds of White Sands National Park, researchers uncovered human footprints that date back 21,000 to 23,000 years ago. These weren't just any footprints. They were discovered alongside the tracks of giant animals that supposedly went extinct long before humans arrived in the Americas. The coexistence of human tracks with megafauna footprints completely destroys the established Clovis first timeline that archaeologists have relied on for decades. These prints show humans walking alongside mammoths, giant ground sloths, and other massive creatures that science claims disappeared before the first humans crossed the Bering Land Bridge. The preservation of these tracks in the ancient mud reveals a snapshot of a world where humans and Ice Age giants lived side by side, challenging everything we thought we knew about when the first people arrived in the Americas. Number 14. The vanished city hidden in plain sight. What happens when an entire city vanishes so completely that the jungle swallows it whole? Using advanced LiDAR technology, archaeologists peered through the dense Amazon rainforest canopy and discovered something extraordinary. Lamego, an entire 18th-century Portuguese indigenous city that had been completely swallowed by the jungle. This lost city reveals a complex blend of Portuguese colonial architecture and indigenous building techniques, featuring canals, roads, churches, and residential areas that demonstrate a level of urban planning that historians never knew existed in this region. The city's sudden abandonment and rapid consumption by the rainforest raises questions about what catastrophic event caused its inhabitants to flee, leaving behind a perfectly preserved snapshot of colonial life. The sophisticated infrastructure suggests that the relationship between Portuguese colonizers and indigenous peoples was far more collaborative and advanced than historical records indicate. Number 3. The underground city that may not exist. What if the pyramids are just the tip of the iceberg, hiding a massive underground city beneath the desert? Radar penetration studies have made shocking claims about what lies beneath the Giza Plateau. According to these controversial findings, there may be an entire underground city stretching 2 kilometers below the famous pyramids, complete with chambers, spiral structures, and corridors that dwarf the monuments above ground. These alleged chambers and underground complexes have sparked intense debate in the archaeological community. If real, they would represent one of the most significant discoveries in human history, potentially revealing that the ancient Egyptians possessed far more advanced engineering capabilities than previously imagined. However, the findings remain unverified and highly controversial, with mainstream archaeology expressing deep skepticism about the claims. The radar signatures could represent natural geological formations, or they could be evidence of a vast underground civilization that has remained hidden for millennia. While the underground city remains controversial, there's no denying the confirmed discovery of hidden chambers within the Great Pyramid itself. Number 12. The secret chambers within the Great Pyramid. What secrets have been hiding inside the Great Pyramid for over 4,500 years? Using cutting-edge muon imaging technology, scientists have confirmed the existence of mysterious voids within the Great Pyramid of Khufu. The most significant discovery is the Big Void, a chamber approximately 30 meters long, along with a corridor near the pyramid's north face. These hidden spaces have remained sealed for over 4,500 years, and their purpose remains completely unknown. The Big Void is roughly the same size as the Grand Gallery, yet it serves no apparent function in the pyramid's known internal structure. The north face corridor appears to lead nowhere, ending abruptly in solid stone. These discoveries suggest that the Great Pyramid contains far more secrets than archaeologists ever imagined, and the ancient builders may have incorporated multiple hidden chambers for reasons that modern science cannot explain. Number 11. The Underwater Monument. What massive stone monument has been hiding on the Mediterranean seafloor for 10,000 years? 40 meters beneath the Mediterranean Sea, off the coast of Pantelleria, divers discovered a massive limestone block measuring 12 meters in length. This isn't a natural formation. It's a carefully carved megalith with precisely drilled holes, dating back approximately 10,000 years. The megalith was created when this area was still above sea level, but its purpose remains completely enigmatic. The precisely carved holes suggest it may have been used for some kind of anchoring system or ritual purpose, but no similar structures have been found anywhere else in the Mediterranean. The embedded shell remains point to ancient island usage, indicating that prehistoric peoples were capable of massive stoneworking projects that we're only now beginning to discover. The level of planning and engineering required to create this monument suggests a sophisticated society that vanished beneath the waves. Number 10. The AI revolution that revealed ancient secrets. How many ancient secrets have been hiding in plain sight, waiting for artificial intelligence to reveal them? Artificial intelligence has revolutionized archaeological discovery by analyzing satellite imagery of the Nazca lines in Peru. This advanced technology has identified 303 new geoglyphs that had been invisible to human researchers for centuries. These newly discovered figures expand the scope of the Nazca lines far beyond what archaeologists previously understood, revealing animals, human figures, and geometric patterns that serve unknown purposes. The sheer number of new discoveries raises profound questions about the true extent of the Nazca civilization's capabilities and the meaning behind these massive ground drawings. Some of the new geoglyphs appear to be astronomical markers, while others seem to represent ritual or religious symbols, but their exact purpose remains as mysterious as the original lines themselves. Number 9. The bone that proves ancient mathematical genius. What if a simple animal bone could prove that ancient humans possessed mathematical knowledge that rivals modern understanding? The Ishango bone, discovered in the Democratic Republic of Congo, appears to be an ordinary animal bone at first glance. However, this 24,000-year-old artifact contains complex notch patterns that suggest our ancestors possessed mathematical knowledge far more advanced than previously believed. The bone contains carefully carved notches arranged in intricate patterns that some researchers believe represent one of the earliest known number systems or mathematical calculations. The precision of the markings suggests that prehistoric peoples were capable of complex mathematical thinking, possibly tracking lunar cycles, astronomical events, or sophisticated counting systems. This single bone challenges the assumption that mathematical knowledge developed gradually over time, suggesting instead that ancient humans possessed mathematical sophistication that we're only beginning to understand. Ancient mathematical genius wasn't the only advanced knowledge our ancestors possessed. They were also crafting tools from materials that literally fell from the sky. Number 8. The arrowhead made from outer space. How did Bronze Age peoples create weapons from materials that came from outer space? In the Bronze Age settlement of Mürrigen, Switzerland, archaeologists discovered an arrowhead that contains a secret visible only under scientific analysis. This ordinary-looking weapon was crafted from iron that didn't come from Earth. It was made from a meteorite. The meteoric iron arrowhead represents incredible technological sophistication, as ancient peoples somehow identified meteoritic iron, extracted it, and forged it into a precision weapon. This discovery suggests that Bronze Age societies possessed knowledge of metallurgy and astronomical materials that far exceeded what historians previously believed possible. The arrowhead was likely a prestige object, indicating that meteoritic materials were highly valued and that ancient peoples had developed trade networks capable of distributing these extraordinary artifacts across vast distances. Ancient burial practices reveal even more mysteries about how our ancestors viewed death and the afterlife. Number 7. The ritualistic burials that defy explanation. What burial practices were so elaborate that they included entire horses and dogs alongside human remains? In Verona, Italy, archaeologists have uncovered Iron Age burial sites where humans were interred alongside horses and dogs in elaborate ritualistic ceremonies. These aren't simple pet burials. They're complex funeral arrangements that suggest sophisticated beliefs about death and the afterlife. The positioning of the animals and humans in these burials indicates a level of ceremonial complexity that challenges our understanding of Iron Age spiritual beliefs. The careful placement of horses and dogs alongside human remains suggests that these ancient peoples believed in some form of afterlife companionship or spiritual journey that required animal guides. The ritualistic nature of these burials implies a sophisticated understanding of death, spirituality, and the relationship between humans and animals that goes far beyond simple burial practices. Ancient peoples weren't just burying their dead with ceremony. They were also hiding valuable weapons in the most unlikely places. Number 6. The Roman swords hidden in the desert. Why would someone hide perfectly good Roman swords in a desert cave and never return for them? In a cave within the Judean desert, archaeologists discovered a cache of Roman swords dating from the 1st to 3rd centuries CE. These weapons were perfectly preserved, complete with wooden hilts and leather scabbards, hidden away for nearly 2,000 years. The purpose of this sword cache remains completely unknown. The weapons were carefully stashed in the cave, suggesting they were hidden intentionally, but by whom and for what reason? The swords could represent a military supply cache, a religious ritual deposit, or evidence of refugees hiding from Roman persecution. The perfect preservation of organic materials like wood and leather in the desert environment has provided archaeologists with an unprecedented glimpse into Roman military equipment. But the mystery of why these valuable weapons were abandoned continues to puzzle researchers. Number 5. The Moai head that emerged from the lake. How does a 5-foot-tall Easter Island statue end up perfectly preserved in a crater lake? On Easter Island, archaeologists made a startling discovery when they found a 5-foot-tall Moai head partially submerged in a crater lake. This statue had been hidden beneath the water for centuries, perfectly preserved by the lake's unique conditions. The newly discovered Moai raises profound questions about Easter Island's history and the purpose of these massive statues. The statue's location in the crater lake suggests it may have been part of a ritual that involved water, or it could have been moved there by natural forces over time. The Moai's unique features and preservation state provide new insights into the carving